There was a Yid I remember. His name was Reb Zalman Bronstein. He was a Russian Jew, a Chassid. He was in the Russian army during the Second World War. He would tell the story of Reb Zalman Bronstein. His comrades, his colleagues were falling like flies. And one day in the middle of the war, Reb Zalman went into the bunker. And in comes a general in the Russian army. He came in to shave. As he's shaving, he's singing to himself a Russian lullaby. And Reb Zalman, who was a blessed voice and knew the songs, felt he's not doing it right. So even though he was a general, he couldn't deal with the forgery of the niggin. So he starts singing. The general hears her voice, and he looks at him, he says, with such a voice, what are you doing here? You have to be the solo in the Red Army's choir. Come with me. Reb Zalman said, it saved my life. He plucked me out of the front lines where everybody was being killed, and I became very active, very successful. They loved me, my voice, my talent. He says, one day, they told me that in a little while there's going to be a huge performance. It's going to be the top performance of the Red Army. All the top echelons of the army are going to be present. He says, I look at my calendar that he had, his makeshift calendar, and I see it's going to be Yom Kippur. Kippur, I'm going to go sing the Ukrainian, Russian songs. I have to travel, use a mic. I can't do it. Musical instruments. But to say I'm not doing it, you could send me back to the front lines. Pikuach nefesh, ish pikuach nefesh. He's struggling. Doesn't know what to do. There comes Yom Kippur. Bronstein. It's time to go. Couldn't get himself to go. He says, my voice. I don't know what happened. Some bacteria, some virus entered my throat. I'm hoarse. I can't sing. I'm not the boss of my body. He says, okay, listen. If you're hoarse, you have to protect your voice because we need it. He says, of course. Spasiba. Charasho. He gets off. He's in his room, it's Yom Kippur, no siddur, no machzer, no minyan, no shul, garnish. But he remembers the tefillas. So he's sitting in his little room over there, and he's singing the Yom Kippur, Kol Nidrei, V'nu Malkeinu. As he's in the middle of his Yom Kippur reflection, with a lot of tears in his eyes, no family, no community, dark years of the Second World War. There's a knock on his door. He opens the door. 3 generals come in. And they say, Bronstein, we know why you didn't go sing today. Your voice is as hoarse as our voice. It's Yom Kippur. They say, Bronstein, wir seinen Jiden. We want to hear Kol Nidrei. So first, he's like, Bronstein! We know why you didn't sing. We want Kol Nidrei. He says, if I get up here and sing Kol Nidrei, and the people hear my voice, you know what's going to happen to me. So why would you do this to me? They said, Bronstein, behind here there's a forest that doesn't end. We'll go deep into the forest. The trees are so tall. Even your Kol Nidrei, the trees will hear, but here they won't hear it. Okay. 3 communist generals, decorated, are walking Yom Kippur into the depths of a Russian forest. They're walking because they have to be completely remote from civilization. They walked for a long time. The general said, here it's safe. Nobody's going to hear. Start Kol Nidrei. Zalman Bronstein, who had a heavenly voice, begins. And in his imagination, He's back in his shul with his wife, with his children, with his community, with his rav, with his friends, singing Kol Nidrei. Zalman says it was a Kol Nidrei that he never had. There was no fanfare, there were no seats, there was no chazan, shamash, gabbai. So it was him, Hashem, Forrest, and 3 Russian generals that had no connection to Judaism whatsoever. But it was so authentic, it was so deep. So he finished the first Kol Nidrei. Before he was ready to go to the second, he opened his eyes and he took a look, and he sees 3 huge, muscular, powerful, tall, well-built, robust generals sobbing like babies. So he just brought them back to a world that seemingly was gone forever, that world of their youth that they gave up for the Bolshevik paradise of Lenin, Trotsky, and Stalin. He was sobbing. He said, Nachalma. He did Kol Nidrei a second time, a third time. And then they wanted him to go through all the songs of Yom Kippur, which they did in the forest, till they came home. And he said every year when he gets up in shul, Kol Nidrei is hundreds of Jews, Talesim, Kitlach, Gaitlach, beautiful. But he's back in the forest with 3 generals who have no strings attached to anything. They're not trying to get their kids into seminary, into this school, that school. They're not on shidduchim lists. They're in a forest, but they're connected. That's where I go to. That's why my Kol Nidrei sounds the way it sounds. But I thought to myself, isn't this a powerful tool for all of us? Because even when I'm in shul, and there's hundreds of people or dozens of people, but in a certain place, I'm in a forest. I'm in a forest with 3 little creatures or big creatures inside of me that are often alienated. But at that moment, I could let go of everything. Let go of expectations and let go of disappointments. Let go of particular dreams and ambitions that are making me frustrated because they weren't materialized. And let your soul just go to Yechida L'Yachtach, Yechida Shebenefesh, where all the vows, meaning all the promises we make to ourselves, I can't, I'm not allowed to, I'm unworthy, I can't be loved, I can't love, I can't be present, I can't have the most incredible relationships with me, with my loved ones, with my children, with my God. All those promises are nullified. Shvikin, Shvisin, Ptelin, Uvadolin, Lasheredi, Velakayon.
Watch the full class at theyeshiva.net.